What's going on, guys? 36 and Brim back in Brady's motherfucking house, boy.
Yeah, baby.
And we got a little something going on today. We're going to talk about our favorite superheroes, why we like them, at least a few of them anyway.
Yeah, because then we could go on forever.
Yeah, exactly.
It could be
I can talk to you guys about superheroes like a motherfucker.
Yeah, he could definitely talk to you more than I could, for sure. This guy's pretty much the one that introduced me to a lot of the superheroes that I fuck with.
Yeah, I've been reading comics for a long time. Whenever I was younger, I didn't really like to read. And one of my friends of my parents was like, "We're getting comic books. You know, it's got pictures and words and all kinds of stuff." And now I'm reading like Stephen King and shit like that all the time. So obviously it worked.
You were reading Stephen King when you were like fucking 10, though, weren't you?
I think the first time I read a Stephen King book was Cujo, and it was summer of third grade year.
Then you tried it. Then you tried to get what age did you try to get through it?
Fourth grade. It was right after that.
So you tried.
Well, no, it was fifth grade. Fifth grade was when I tried to read it. I did read it. I probably didn't like absorb.
Yeah, that's what it was.
You know? Because I've read it since then. Obviously, it's all good. But that was the first one I did. Yeah, the first Stephen King book I ever read was Cujo. But so we're gonna go through some favorite superheroes and why we like them and stuff like that. And probably give you a little bit of news there at the end about some different stuff that's going on that you guys may be excited about. And I'll start out. My top 3 favorite superheroes of all time is Batman, Dr. Manhattan, and Spider-Man, in real no particular order. I know Batman's gonna be on his list.
Dr. Manhattan is a crazy one because a lot of people wouldn't say, they're like, oh yeah, he's cool, but he's not usually people's favorite.
Well, I mean, I don't really necessarily know if he's a superhero either. Like
it's like a sentient being.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of stuff are sentient beings, but
like, I mean, like, that's not what I'm trying to say though. What I'm trying to say is like a god. Like, that's pretty much what he is.
In the new comic book line, the new run that DC's doing right now, I'm pretty sure, because I never finished out the whole Dr. Manhattan line because they brought him back. He like made that universe or something like that of like the comic books that exist. Then he had like this thing with Superman, and Superman was like, "Hey, you know, like what you're doing's wrong" and shit like that. And then a whole bunch of crazy stuff happens. But basically, I'll start off with Dr. Manhattan. I really like Dr. Manhattan for a lot of reasons. Besides the fact that he's like super powerful. I feel like, you know, a lot of people, you know, want to like heroes.
And his dick was swinging in Watchmen.
Yeah, his dick
he
was
didn't
out.
give a fuck.
But I mean, I really like Manhattan specifically because he has such a disconnect from like society and just people in general, and I can resonate with that a lot. Like a lot of characters do have that, but like Manhattan has like no empathy. Like he just like the stronger that he gets, and the more like, you know, that he exists in like that realm, or, you know, however in that state, the less and less he cares about humans and just people in general. And I can resonate with that a lot. There's been a lot of times in my life where I've been really low and just, you know, under like normal circumstances. Like I do have the empathy. Obviously, I have strong feelings about a lot of stuff. But I mean, I can resonate with that character. That's one thing that I really like about Manhattan specifically.
Yeah, and that's one thing I do like about that character too. Is that like
that's something he has to battle with, because he knows like he's supposed to be like a protector. He knows like he's so strong that he can stop anything, but he doesn't care.
But the cool thing is what I was saying is like when he makes that decision and when he does what he has to do, he does it with confidence. You know what I'm saying? Like even though it's he is the way he is, like it's still like. It feels cold and it feels calculated and it feels confident. Like it's really unique. I really like that. I like the writing of that the Watchmen.
Well, and originally, like whenever they were making the Watchmen comics, I forgot what the guy's name is. The guy who makes the Watchmen comics. Sorry, guys, his name escapes me right now. But he wanted to use like characters from DC. He wanted to use like Batman and like the Atom and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like Question, I think for Rorschach. And the people at DC were like, no, you know, this shit's way too brutal. You're going to have to make your own characters. And that's how he came up with like Rorschach and Night Owl and Manhattan, because like they're very similar to those characters. Well, he did that for a reason, you know, like he originally wanted to use those characters. They shot him down on it, so they had to make their own characters. And which is tight, you know, but like I said, you know, Manhattan's awesome. The Watchmen series is like very enduring. I haven't watched the new show they came out with at all, or anything.
Yes, that's my next question.
I'm terrified to watch. I haven't even watched The Boys.
Yeah.
I know The Boys is great. Everybody's like, dude, you have to watch.
I was gonna ask you about The Boys too.
Yeah,
So like, is that what is that like? Is that
it's like a gritty basically like they have superpowers and they're like celebrities.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like in the real world situation, if you had superpowers, people would be fucking with you hard.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you'd be able to do whatever the fuck you wanted. You know what I mean? You have superpowers. Like and be like, yeah, get into this club. Go on. Everybody finds out this dude's here. They're all gonna want to come and see it.
Right.
So that's the basic thing. It's just a grittier superhero show. Yeah. Our buddy Bentley, he loves The Boys. He's trying to give me.
Yeah, he was the one that was trying to push that hard on me. Yeah.
And I mean, and for what it's worth, I will watch it eventually for sure. I'll watch the Watchmen show too because that's one of my favorite comic book series or runs, however you want to call it, of all time. I've read Watchmen so many times.
If I'm correct though, that dude, the dude who wrote Watchmen,
Alan Moore, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so he write the 2 animated Dark Knight Returns?
Dark Knight Returns. Yeah,
some of the
he wrote
best
that
writing.
too.
Dude,
he's awesome. From what I hear, he was not a very good person, but he could write some fucking shit.
Yeah.
You know, that dude was a good writer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so Manhattan's definitely my first one to throw out there. I love the character. I love like his turmoils, what he has to deal with just being so disconnected from people. I can really resonate with that character a lot.
Yeah.
Go ahead with your pick.
Well, I've seen my top. I wouldn't have to top 3 minutes tough. Definitely Superman.
You don't have to. Yeah.
Definitely Superman, just because like that's what I was.
Soups.
Yeah, that was what I was raised on. That was my dad's like. That was the one my dad was just like, yeah, that was it right there.
Christopher Reeves.
Yeah.
Yeah, he watched the. You know.
But that's the thing too. You say Superman, everyone's like, oh yeah, Superman, sure. You know what
Very
I mean?
white bread.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, to be that strong, right? Like the strongest thing on the planet.
Yeah.
And like not just freak out and do whatever you want. You know, like, you know how difficult that would be? I think it's like Superman All-Star, he's fighting against somebody. And they like damage him a little bit, you know, they do something to him. And he's like, you know, he thanks him. He's like, now I get, you know, I don't have to hold back. He's like, it's like I'm living in a world made of cardboard. He's like, I don't have to hold back against you. And just starts fucking this guy up. Like just putting the work to his ass. And it's a really awesome scene.
Speaking of Superman, so we went, I had been there one time in Metropolis, Illinois, down south. And I went there, I took my boy there and shit, we got pictures. And the shit they got in there, man, it's fucking awesome, dude. I didn't remember that from a kid, you know what I mean? I'd seen pictures, but like, it just hit there. I was walking there like, damn, bro, like the old classic Superman suits and shit. Yeah, it's wild. But
stuff, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, Superman for sure. Like, they've done so many different things with him. Like, they've done the hype. Like, I guess it wouldn't be hypothetical because comic book worlds, you can really do whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
Like, if they want to write that story, they can make that a story. You know what I'm saying? So. And I guess the one of my favorite like Superman like adaptations is the one where like what the hell is that new movie? It's like newer.
Oh, Dark Knight or Man of Steel.
No. This is like where he's like if he turned bad and he was bad as a kid.
Brightburn.
Oh my god,
Brightburn's
bro.
so awesome.
Dude, that movie's so hardcore.
Brightburn's so good.
Yeah,
dude.
it's so. But that's the main reason why I like that character, man. Well, I grew up on him. There's a nostalgic thing to it, but like, yeah, because you can go that way with anybody, but like it's always cool to be like, what would happen if Superman was? Because like what you just said,
Superman's
you know
the
what I mean?
pillar of hope.
Yeah,
you know, like what he represents. It's like it's Superman. You know what I mean? Like he's Superman.
The American dream, baby.
There's a lot of different like there's a alternate Superman from different reality that landed in Russia during like the Soviet Union time.
Oh shit!
And I think he's called Red Sun or something like that. And like he's like Soviet and like he fights for them and shit like that. So
he's a communist.
Yeah, he's a communist. And it's Russia, so he's like
Mother
Russia, and he's like
Mother Russia,
for the motherland. And one thing that I think is really cool about like this day and age is like. Because whenever I was young, and even more so like whenever our parents were young and before that, it wasn't cool to like superheroes. Like, it was lame to like superheroes. You know, like whenever I was a kid, it was kind of lame to like superheroes. You know, like it wasn't cool. Nowadays, it's awesome, man. You go out to Walmart and like they got all kinds of superheroes.
Who is the thing for that though? Like, who is the thing for making it such a mainstream?
What I think it really was the Spider-Man movie that came out with Tobey Maguire.
Oh, dude, that's a really 2000s. Good. Yeah.
I think that made it cool because it was made well, and then the X-Men movies came out shortly after that and stuff like that. And like that was really the start of that shift.
More than mainstream, because like you had the old like Batman movies and shit, but like
the Michael Keaton movies are tight. You know?
Yeah, the Michael Keaton, but they also did the George Clooney and like that kind of.
Yeah,
like,
not really. Ugh.
And I mean, I don't. I know there's some people like, oh, I didn't think the movie was that bad because it's not good. And I thought because like as a kid I watched that movie and I'm like, this fucking movie is amazing.
It's got Arnold
I was
Schwarzenegger,
like, yeah.
George Clooney, all-star class.
Yeah, I was like, this as a kid I was like, this movie's amazing. And then I got older and watched it. I'm like, because I was in denial. Like you kept telling me, he's like, it's really bad.
Yeah, like Batman Forever. I like Val Kilmer's with Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey, Val Kilmer,
Val Kilmer. Yeah, he did. Val Kilmer.
I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of people don't think that movie's good either. And is it better than Michael Keaton's? No, it's not. But like that was whenever I was a kid was when that movie had just came out. You know, Michael Keaton's was a little bit before my time, but Val Kilmer's came out like right at that perfect moment where like that was my Batman when I was a kid. And I also watched the Michael Keaton ones too. So I really Batman Forever has a special place in my heart. I don't think he's the best Batman. I think personally Ben Affleck's the best Batman. I know a lot of people would be like, "Hey, fuck you," you know. It's Michael Keaton, you know. Which don't get me wrong.
Well, I mean Michael Keaton's really good, but my favorite's Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, yeah, there you go. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's like a serious take on Batman, which was such a good because before that, you know, the last thing we had Batman-wise was George Clooney, and that movie's awful. You know, it's so bad. Right. We hadn't really had anything movie-wise since that, besides like animated movies and stuff like that, which are always good. But yeah, I mean, I'd have to give it to.
Have you called Gotham by Gaslight yet?
I haven't watched it. I heard it's really bad though.
Yeah,
I heard it's really bad. Yeah, I mean, I like Ben Affleck's Batman. Do I think he's the best Bruce Wayne? No, I don't think he's the best Bruce Wayne.
But he was fucking dudes up as Batman, bro.
Batman, and he isn't in a whole bunch like.
He fucking swole.
Yeah, I know. Christian Bale has like a whole bunch of armor on. Ben Affleck Batman got cloth. You know what I'm saying? Like, they do wearing like leather and cloth out there.
He's like, I mean, and the way they do that fighting scene, I think it's Batman versus Superman, and it's like,
where he's in the warehouse.
Yeah,
he's like murdering. At least half those dudes are dead.
Yeah, they can say whatever, but that dude did. Yeah, that's like dead. Thomas Wayne right there, baby. He just did 2 Glock 9s, just putting work in. Like,
oh yeah. And by the way, watch the Flashpoint Paradox if you.
That's the best animated. Yeah, I mean, it's up there.
I would definitely say Return of Joker. I think Return of Joker is better than
Batman
Flashpoint
Beyond,
Paradox.
right?
Yeah, Batman Beyond. I would say it's better than Flashpoint Paradox. Not by much. I mean, they're right on the same tier. But
it's a really good movie.
I do think it's better. The Batman Beyond Return of Joker is amazing. Yeah. So obviously one of our picks is Batman. We really like Batman a lot. I mean, I'm not wearing a Batman shirt today, but I mean,
you're wearing a Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah, I'm wearing a
which
B.I.G.
he might as well be a superhero. Too,
yeah, right. I'm gonna move on to Spider-Man. So Spider-Man is also in my top 3 for a lot of reasons. Like I said before, I credit the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man to moving superhero movies into the mainstream. I think that was the turning point where superheroes stopped kind of being like a nerdy thing and started just become like this pop culture thing that you know anybody can enjoy. I credit that to Tobey Maguire.
I can agree with that.
And what he did with Spider-Man. Yeah. Whenever I was younger, because I really liked Batman when I was a little kid. And I still really like Batman, obviously. But whenever I first started getting into comics, it was Marvel comics, specifically Spider-Man. My ex-stepdad's best friend, Mike, is a big Spider-Man guy. Like, that's his favorite superhero. So, like, you know, I kind of looked up to that guy and stuff like that. Like, he was something like, we had something in common. We're both like superheroes. And he was like an adult that liked superheroes. That wasn't something he came across all the time. And,
it's like when you're older, like, I know you didn't have an older brother, but my older brother, like, whenever he found something really cool, I automatically
you're like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. It's the greatest thing ever.
So he really liked Spider-Man. So through that, I like Spider-Man. I started getting Spider-Man comics and reading stuff like that. And like I said, not only do I credit Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire specifically, who is my favorite Spider-Man, to bringing
for sure,
to bringing comics and that kind of stuff into the mainstream. What I really like about Spider-Man is he's very similar to Batman. He's always pegged as, like, the underdog. You know what I mean? Like, he always goes against, like, these insane, like, by the way, Batman and Spider-Man had the best Rogues Gallery, which Rogues Gallery is, like, their villain team. That's, like, a name for, like, a hero's like set of villains. They call them their Rogues Gallery. I think Batman and Spider-Man have the best Rogues
as
galleries.
A whole, each one of them had the most iconic.
Yeah, they have the best Rogues Gallery in comics. I mean, there's a lot of really awesome ones. Spawn has a really good Rogues Gallery, but it's like a whole bunch of these crazy ass monsters and stuff, which is nothing wrong with that. But basically,
damn, you just keep reminding me of all these people. Like, I got a top 3 here. I got to pick a top 3. Like, god damn, okay.
I guess basically what I'm getting at is Spider-Man is, in a way, as far as I'm concerned, which may be a bit of a hot take, is a bit of a mix of Batman and Superman. And the reason why I say that is they're always the underdog, like Batman, even though Batman's never the fucking underdog if you know who Batman is. But they're also a pillar of hope. It's something that people look at and like they know that like, you know, there's always like something there. There's always something
in the sky.
Exactly. I mean, pretty much. Like there's something like special that Spider-Man brings to the table that no other superhero has. And like it goes through like a lot of different stories. You can read so many different Spider-Man stories and you can relate to it. You know, a high school kid juggling school, relationships, and being a superhero, people can relate to that, except for the superhero thing, the struggle. You know, working for the Daily Bugle, having a crappy job, barely making
boss.
barely making ends meet, but you go out and you fight crime. You know what I mean? And like
it's so fucking dope.
You can relate to it. Like Batman, you can't relate to Batman. The dude's rich. You know what I mean?
But that's
Superman,
what also
you
makes
can't relate to Superman.
Yeah, but that's what also makes Batman so.
That's
cool,
what makes
man.
Batman exactly.
Because that's something you can aspire to be. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But I mean, Spider-Man, that's somebody that you may already kind of be, minus the superpowers and fighting crime. But it's something
you can fight crime.
Yeah, right. You can pick up a Spider-Man comic, a lot of them, and be like, wow, I can really relate to this character. Like, most of the struggles this guy goes through, I go through every day. But he at night, or even in the middle of the day if he needs to, he puts on that mask and he goes out and he does work, and that is super cool. What Spider-Man represents is so great, and like I said, he impacted me big whenever I was a kid. And that's something I'm never going to let go, like, it's... I think Spider-Man's the bomb diggity. You got another superhero you can talk about?
Fuck yeah, man! I got fucking Punisher. Punisher is up there for
Frank.
Me. Yeah, and you know what? My whole life I was if anything a fan. I was not a fan of Punisher at all growing up, and then that series came out on Netflix.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, you watched Warzone? You didn't think Warzone was good?
Nope.
Oh, Warzone was awesome.
I know that now, but when I was like young, I was like, man, whatever, dude. Like,
yeah, right.
This dude, you just use guns. Oh, anybody could do that. Whatever, blah blah.
I don't know.
No,
man.
bro. Okay, look, man. That series came out, and yeah, dude. Like, I'm not a big comic guy, so he could go into like way more like the canon, like whatever, like all that deep shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm definitely the film and TV show guy. Right. And no, but that show is, I mean, the choreography and everything that in the story, like
I think they used the same people that did with Daredevil.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
That you don't want to see Daredevil.
You just keep throwing.
You don't want to see Daredevil in a hallway, dog. It's going down.
That fight scene, Daredevil,
God,
one of the best fight scenes in any
for sure. Like, I mean, come on, that's like fucking.
And I haven't heard anybody push back against that. Yeah,
like Ip Man's fight us, how they did the Ip Man movies with their choreography and fight scenes. They're amazing. If you haven't watched the Ip Man movies, go watch them. They used to be on Netflix. I doubt they are now. But it's definitely on that fucking level of just being like, oh my god.
Yeah, mind-blowing choreography. Yeah, just
bro.
insane.
Yeah.
God damn it, I can't. The guy who plays Kingpin is just he's.
I forgot what his name is.
Gosh. It's some crazy name, but he plays in a bunch of good movies. He's a damn good actor. He's underrated as fuck. And like him playing, like the way he talks and the way he moves gives you like this eerie, just this unsettling feeling. And that's what Kingpin's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like, I remember in the Daredevil movie or whatever, like Michael Clark Duncan, he played Kingpin. Yeah.
And that Daredevil movie, Ben Affleck's awful.
Yeah.
But his Kingpin wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad, but it didn't give me like. I just like the feeling that the Kingpin and the show gave me a little bit more. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about fucking Punisher, which is crazy because they kind of tie into each other a little bit.
Do.
So
they have like almost the same rogues gallery.
Yeah.
They deal with like the same people.
Yeah. And so Punisher, man, it's just, how can you not like Frank Castle, dude? Like, I mean, like I get it. Like as a kid, like I think it's more of an adult.
It is.
Yeah, it's more of an adult superhero and he's not really a superhero. He's just a pissed off dude that got everything taken from him.
Yeah. He's an anti-hero. Like, he can be good, he can be bad. It just depends on like.
And exactly. And his his main villain in the show, at least, I don't know in the comics or whatever what his normal main villain is, like the Punisher.
He deals with a lot of like Daredevil.
But Jigsaw,
Daredevil, Spider-Man, Punisher, a lot of like heroes that center out of New York deal with the same villains, like for the
Which
most
makes
part.
sense. Yeah, I mean, like I get that, but Jigsaw, the one like
Jigsaw's cool. They get Tombstone in
Yeah.
the first series and the first season.
Yeah.
Well, I think he might have been a Daredevil. Was he in Daredevil or Punisher?
I can't remember,
Tombstone,
but
The
I
dude
do
that can-
remember him.
Dude that can make you do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know, he gives
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
go in the closet, make you.
Now,
some
so
food.
in the movie Daredevil, go back to Daredevil because he's one of my top two. I mean, like I can't pick a top three because
right.
it's really hard.
Yeah, I know. I'm obviously going to talk about more than just what I talked
Yeah,
about.
yeah, exactly. But the Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck, Bullseye.
Yeah.
Is he throughout the comics a main character too?
Yeah, he's a villain.
That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
He's
too.
a.
I just because as bad as
Dude
that
never
movie
misses.
was,
Yeah.
as bad as that movie was, like I was like, man, I hope
Yeah,
they didn't
who's
just
the guy who
create.
plays Daredevil in that one? Colin Farrell.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it is
Colin Farrell
Colin
does
Farrell.
I love
yeah.
that scene in the plane where the old lady's sleeping. And he flicks the peanut and chokes her and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and he just like puts her on a pillow and he's like, no, she's out. You know? He just killed her with a peanut.
I mean, they had a star-studded cast with that too. I mean, it's like, it's just I don't know. You could fuck up. You could fuck up a movie real fast.
Yeah.
Like bad.
Yeah, no, Punisher's awesome. It's funny because like in modern day, like a lot of like police force people and like the military have like adopted the Punisher skull and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and like they use it as like like a symbol that they're I understand what they're doing it for, but even Punisher, like, multiple times in the comics, like, I don't give a fuck about the police and shit
Yeah.
like that. Like, he doesn't give a shit
Fuck
at all about
fuck
any
the
of that
pigs,
shit.
baby.
Well, I mean, basically, he's like, they're crooked just as much as anybody else is. And, and,
Yeah.
like, he's, like, very, like, Punisher
Very
is, like,
cold.
a signature, like, he doesn't, like, stand with a group or anything
Yeah,
like that. Like,
yeah.
Punisher is just the Punisher. He doesn't care, like, what you represent. Like,
Well,
what
if
group
I'm
you're
correct,
from.
whenever that series like starts really tying together a lot,
Oh,
like
yeah,
he doesn't
Punisher
really.
is out shooting for Daredevil.
Yeah,
Like, he wanted
yeah,
that.
that's exactly what I thought.
'cause,
Yeah,
that's
which it makes sense. I mean, it's
So I mean,
the
like,
Punisher.
if you're, a police officer, you're in the military, you can use that skull all you want. Knock yourself out. I know what it represents, but just know, comic book Punisher isn't gonna fuck with you as much as he doesn't fuck with anybody else. He's gonna look at
Yeah.
a cop the same as he looks at any other criminal.
He
He
give a
doesn't
fuck.
fucking care. Like, if you deserve to die, you deserve to die. Which maybe that's the whole point of why you guys use a skull. I don't know, but I just think it's an interesting fact.
Yeah.
Move on to another group of my favorites, and you know this one's coming. The Turtles, baby.
Oh,
the Ninja
yeah.
Turtles, man.
Yeah.
They are... God damn.
I was gonna bring them up earlier, but I didn't know if we were going. I don't know
Oh,
if it
we're
was just
going.
DC or Marvel.
No, man, we're going. There's a lot of, like, different turtle tattoos that I want to get. There's a lot of different, like... The superheroes that I talked about, there's a lot of different tattoos I want to get of different superheroes and stuff like that. But I have, like, a couple turtle tattoos that I really want. And specifically, what really made me love the Turtles, of course, was the early 90s live-action movies. They're the best.
Yeah.
I mean, those new live-action movies they made...
Which is fucked up. Go ahead and say this now. So the third one where they go back in time. He hates that movie, and I
It's
fucking
so
love that
much,
movie. It's
man.
not a good movie. It's
so
really
bad.
no. It's not a good
They
movie.
brought back Casey Jones.
Yeah,
That's
which
pretty
is
cool.
it's dope. Hey, but like, yeah, it's not a good movie, but it's my favorite one, man. Like, it's my. I wouldn't say it's my favorite one. We had the conversation before. It's not that it's my favorite one, but like when I was a kid, that shit was just.
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome as a kid, and I don't know. I guess it goes the exact opposite of the Punisher thing. In Punisher, I was like, yeah, this is whatever. But like it was, I don't know. It was like a fantasy thing. It was
Right.
like, damn, they went back in time.
Yeah, they
like,
went back in time. Oh, my God, these in this lamp,
Yeah, that's just crazy,
Um,
man.
The thing that I really like about the Turtles themselves, like whenever I was young, I was an only child. So, and I'm about to get real deep. Like, sorry if I'm about to get real deep with you guys. But whenever I was younger, I was in an abusive situation and I was by myself the whole time. It's another reason why I really like superheroes, is like what they represented, like, was something where you could overcome an unbeatable situation.
Yeah.
And through the Turtles, they were always together. Like, the Turtles were brothers. They had unity. They could face anything together. And I didn't have that, but I thought it was really cool that they did have that. And besides the fact that like they each have like these different personalities, that I feel like in many ways I relate to each of the Turtles in different ways, a lot. And I think that's one thing that really drew me to the Turtles was like they were together with everything. I didn't have brothers, like I had friends and stuff like that. But I mean, like when I was like down and I had to deal with like, I don't need to get into details or anything like that, but all the stuff that I had to deal with, I was by myself the whole time. Like it was something I had to deal with by myself.
Right.
And the Turtles always had somebody. The Turtles never had to deal with things alone. They always had a brother to lean on. And that's something that really made me love the Turtles, besides the fact that the Rogues Gallery is really good. And they got Shredder, Krang, all types of, really awesome, like, really really good.
Shredder's are really iconic. He's one of the.
He's a super shredder. But yeah, and I mean, there's that one scene in the first Ninja Turtles first live action one where Raph goes out.
Yeah.
He goes to the movies and he comes back after he runs into Casey Jones, and Splinter talks to him and he's like, you face all this alone. Just remember your brothers are here and I am too. You know what I mean? Like, I love you and shit like that. And like that scene still makes me cry to this day.
Yeah.
Because Raph had, whether he realized it or not, he did have people he could lean on. He had people that he could, share this weight with of who they are. And I didn't. And I related it to him so much because I didn't have a choice, but he did.
Yeah.
But I relate to it so much because I think even if I did, I probably would have been the same way. And,
in a lot of ways, that's probably who. Because the cool thing is about the Turtles is like we've done this. Me, you, Bentley, and all of like our friends. We always like who and if it's
turtle?
Turtles and in almost any movie where there's a group of people like growing up. All the times we're like sitting down smoking weed.
Who's this?
Who's that? Who's that guy? Who's that guy?
I think I'd be that guy. We did it with four brothers too.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. That was one of my biggest comparisons because, like you said, we all have it like. In our minds, we're like, well, we have a little bit of that one, a little bit of that one, a little bit of that one.
Yeah,
but
who are you predominantly?
And it's crazy you say that because it was like Raph was like the the one that I think he related to the most. And yeah, I mean, it's
everybody
crazy.
Always said I was Mikey.
Huh?
Everybody always said I was Mikey.
Well, yeah, I mean, for obvious
reasons. I'm funny and I'm mostly funny.
And your name is Mike.
Yeah, well, okay, that one too. But I mean, if you take that away, then I mean, like, what's the other reason, right?
Yeah. But no, I mean, that's the Turtles are one of my favorites too. I mean,
they represent a lot. They represent unity. Like a lot of these people, like Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, whatever.
Solitaire.
They can take off the suit, and they're just normal guys. They can walk away. They can walk around. Like no one's ever gonna know.
Turtles can't.
The turtles can't just go walk around. They have to stay hidden because they're freaks. People can't see the turtles, they'd freak out.
And didn't in like in the original comics of Turtles, weren't they like wielding guns and shit?
I don't know. Like they may have like used them, but they were more brutal. They were pretty hardcore. There's different comic book runs of Turtles that are more like adult oriented.
The Turtles are another one. My brother, my stepbrother, he got me into.
Well, yeah, because he was the perfect age for the Turtles. Like he was like probably like 10, 11, 12 or whatever when those movies were first coming out. Perfect target audience for those movies.
Oh yeah,
and he was all about it. Because why wouldn't you be?
And he got me into Star Wars too, man. He got me into Star Wars, and then you like pretty
really
much
drove it home. Yeah.
Well, you explained to me things like the whole.
Because there's stuff you get from the surface level, but then when you start getting underneath,
then you start digging. It's like the Anakin is the chosen one.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you think after all that, he's like, oh, he wasn't the chosen one. Lucas. It's like no. Like Anakin is the chosen one. But that could probably be a whole nother video.
It probably will be.
Yeah, it probably will be.
But yeah, I mean the Turtles are up there, and like I said before, guys, like I could keep going. Flash, I love Flash so much. A lot of people shit on Flash for whatever reason. But Flash is amazing.
Probably the same reason why they shit on Superman.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I think Flash has more, like, depth of character. But, like, he just runs fast. No. Flash he can go back in time and take somebody out as they're a kid. Yep. If he builds up enough speed and punches you, it's, like, the same power, if not more, as, like, a nuclear warhead or something like that. The character, each of the Flashes, my favorite one being Barry Allen. Wally West is a close second.
Yeah.
They're awesome. And, like, the storylines they always use with Flash, he's always, like... whether like you want him to or not, he normally is the centerpiece of like these world-changing events and like these big things. Flash is always in the center of that because of what he can do.
Goes back to what we said earlier. Watch Flashpoint Paradox.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And I mean, like you get into like the Zoom and like the alter egos and like not the alter egos, but like the paradox and like the other characters and like the other versions of himself and like it's wild, bro. Like
it's like Blackest Night. He becomes a Blue Lantern, which I'll get into the Lantern Corps a little bit too while I'm at it because I love the Lantern Corps. Blackest Night was
really if we want to dig into. Sorry for cutting you off, but if we want to dig into Lantern Corps, that could be a whole fucking video. Like,
I'm gonna give it a little quick snip because I'm pretty sure we're running pretty long regardless. But he becomes a Blue Lantern, which blue is hope. And during the Blackest Night, Black Hand revives like all these dead superheroes, and they become Black Lanterns. Black Lanterns are death, and like the last superheroes that were alive had to like fight against this overwhelming army of dead superheroes that are also lanterns, and Barry's running, and then a blue ring comes out, and Barry Allen, I see you have the ability to outrun great fear, and shit like that. Boom, Blue Lantern jumps on him to the blue. I know I've shown it to you before. No, it's been a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, he becomes a Blue Lantern, and it's legit as hell. Shout out to Jake Bentley. You're gonna love that one, buddy. And because whenever a ring comes to you and chooses you, they have they explain to you why you've been chosen.
Yeah.
And like Barry Allen, I see you have the ability to outrun great fear. Of course, he can outrun great fear. He's the Flash. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's awesome.
It's great.
I love it. Which leads me into my favorite lantern of all time is Saint Walker. And Saint Walker is the first Blue Lantern, like I said, was Hope. And if you have any, if you wonder about the Lantern Corps or anything, there's this really cool YouTube the channel that I'm subscribed to, Comic Storian. Whenever I don't have the ability to read comics or buy them or anything like that, if I'm down on money,
Comic Storian's badass.
I'll go check out Comic Storian. He reads the comics, he shows you the panels, everything. That dude's legit as hell. Go check out Comic Storian. He has the story of Saint Walker, which he does it really well. But I'll just give you a quick little thing. His planet, Saint Walker's planet was they were facing turmoil. The sun was getting ready to go supernova. And he was super religious and would go around read scripture to people and be we need to pray, we need to be together because of this and all kinds of other stuff. And everybody was like, fuck you, the world's getting ready to end. Oh my God.
Yeah. So
he read in his Bible that there was a monument at the top of a mountain that would save his people. So he took him and his family because he wanted them all to see this great monument, the return of the Messiah, the return of their God. And they climbed up the mountain. Well, the whole time, each of his family members gets killed. His wife's father, his son, his daughter, his wife. They all die in some crazy way. He's the last one alive whenever he gets to the top of the mountain. He goes up to it, and it's just a pillar. It's a metal monolith. Yeah. And in it is the reflection of whoever reached there.
Monolith, baby.
Yeah, he starts ripping through all these pages, and he's like, what the hell? You're supposed to be here. And then he looks up and he sees his reflection. And he realizes that he's Saint Walker. He's not just a man. He is the Messiah of his people. He goes down, really locks it in this time. He's like, no, I am the leader of you guys. We need to be together on this. And they come together and they pray. And it's perfect comic book stuff. But they shrink the sun with this blue energy. It shrinks the sun and heals the sun to a normal size of a star. And then out of the center of the sun, a blue ring came flying out. Came to Saint Walker, and it says, Saint Walker, I see you have the ability to instill great hope, or something like that. And it jumps on his finger, and he becomes Saint Walker, the first Blue Lantern. And through the power of the first Blue Lantern, he's able to talk to his family for one last time and make his peace with them. And
I don't give a fuck what any of y'all say. That story never gets old, bro.
It's so good. I love Saint Walker. And I know this video is going pretty long, so we're gonna wrap it up because we got a little bit of news to tell you guys too. But those are our picks of some of our favorite superheroes and why we love them, and
as much as we can talk, we might do more.
We might do a few parts or something. But we're gonna wrap this one up right here. As far as the music goes, I'll let you talk about the show and the CD and everything.
Yeah,
you can kind of plug that here at the end.
Okay, cool. We got a show March 13th. In Springfield. I know that there's a lot of people that'll be watching this that aren't from the Springfield, Illinois area. But if you're ever around, man, you know what I mean? We're having a show March 13th.
It's a double header for his album, which released March 12th.
March 12th, yep.
And Zach Mode?
No, VG Frost.
Okay, Frost.
Yeah, his Time Heals All. That's his album. So it's a co-hosted.
It comes out the 13th. So they're kind of doing a little dual party, hey, our CD's out.
Right, and it's Zach Mode's birthday party.
Oh, okay,
so
that's
there's
cool.
kind of a triple header there.
All right, right on.
Yeah, so that's coming out. And like I said, Astral Protection is dropping March 12th, man. Big features on it, a lot of dope songs, a lot of unreleased stuff, and there's a lot of released stuff.
I do a lot of chorus work on it and stuff.
Yeah.
I got no verses, but I do chorus work on it. So.
And Solid Gold Scorpion's underworks.
Yeah, well, I'm working on Solid Gold Scorpion hard.
Yeah.
And I'm coming with some crazy stuff.
I'm coming hard, baby.
It's definitely not just a rap album. I don't know.
The lo-fi on there. You got
a lot of the beats. I got a lot of different stuff. Yeah, I know, but it's not just a rap album. I don't know if I'm gonna have any features. I haven't decided. I might, but I might just run me just on it. But regardless, Solid Gold Scorpion's gonna be crazy. I don't know if it's gonna be this year. I know we're working on a few albums. For what it's worth, these 2 albums that we're working on, Monolith and Two from Hell, they're pretty much done. We got a little bit to do on both of them, but they're pretty much done. We're working on the album after Two from Hell right now. We're already putting stuff together for it. And I'm also working on Solid Gold Scorpion. And,
busy, man.
Yeah, I guess so. We don't have any shows or anything. I mean,
we got
might as well make stuff. And if it's good, it's good. We're making music. It's flowing pretty easy. I don't know how many tracks are gonna be on Solid Gold Scorpion. It's definitely gonna be over 5. I wouldn't imagine it'd be more than 10. It'd probably be around in that area somewhere. But yeah, I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a good album. I think everything that we're coming out with is gonna be really sweet. You also got that album coming out with Young Matt.
Yeah, that is under works. We're not even nowhere near close getting it done. We don't have a name, but it is confirmed. It's happening.
There's a CD with Brady and Young Matt are going in and making an album.
I've had too many requests from people, and like just everybody that's a fan of both of us and has heard all the features.
They want a project.
Yeah, they want a project, and we both decided it was like because we kind of held off like, oh, we don't know how we would make it work with time and shit like that, but like. After this last song we did, which is on Astral Projection, we made the decision. We're like, bro, we got to do a project. Like I said, we have no name for it. We're still all kind of brainstorming on it. We have some ideas though. Mm-hmm. We have some ideas.
It's gonna be good. Stuff that I've heard from it's gonna be tight. We're gonna get some good features on that too. More about that whenever it gets closer. But yeah,
I think all of it's gonna be. Sorry for cutting you off again, but all of it's gonna be. I'm pretty sure all of it's gonna be self-produced. And what I mean by that is I'm going to produce all the beats, and then the No Face is going to be mixing and mastering, engineering, doing his thing. So it's all going to be self-produced, and we, for the most part, Two from Hell is the same way. It's all self-produced, whether it's No Face making the beats or I'm making the beats. Pretty much everything we do from here on out is like that, but we do buy beats from other producers. So if you're a producer watching this, man, don't be afraid to send us shit because we will work with it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, other than that, that was some superhero stuff for you guys. A little bit of news. Probably ran a little long on this one, but I mean, superheroes, Star Wars, stuff like that. Something we can talk about. We can make a 24-hour video about that.
Could, yeah.
But we're gonna wrap it up there. It's been a little bit since we've seen you guys. I'm gonna try to say that we're gonna record stuff more often. We all know that's a lie.
We say that every time.
So I mean, we'll see you next time we see you. But with that being said, Tack, my brother Roivas, take it easy, guys.
Peace out.